30k, not fully spaded, as a repair cost, I think is absolutely mad. Alright everybody, hello and welcome to what is going to be my first ever YouTube video on War Thunder then. And well, this time around for the first video it is going to be about the F11F-1. The F11F-1 being a very, very new vehicle to War Thunder, actually an event vehicle that you were able to get yourself through participating in Operation Summer, and well, a very, very interesting one, I have to say. So the F11F-1 is sitting at a battle rating of 9.0. That is, even though it has got, well, with not all the spading on there, I'll have to say I'm not quite done doing that myself just yet, but it's got a max speed for me currently of 1200 kilometers an hour, and it can even go beyond that. You will get this Jed Supersonic in a dive pretty easily, and it does actually have an afterburner at a battle rating of 9.0, and that's actually a pretty well, crazy thing actually to be speaking about that, considering that battle rating 9.0 is stuff where you have stuff like F86's F2s, which go 1100 and have got no way of actually going supersonic, and, well, you know, MiG-15s and all the other things that you usually find at battle rating 9.0. So this thing actually being kind of at a very, very strong battle rating for the speeds that it can achieve, you will have to say that it is a very, very, very heavy beast. It is absolutely abysmal in its turn rate at 36.3 seconds with the current spading that I do have going on. You can get it a bit better, but honestly, just looking through the spadings, you can probably only shave like about a second off that turn time. For comparison, you know, something like the Saber is going at 24 seconds, so that's definitely a world of a difference right there. And that does also affect, you know, the aiming with guns. It is very, very hard to get the guns on target with this thing. If you go supersonic, it becomes very, very hard to steer. If you try and get some shots in last second, you can have some rudder dibs. So it is sometimes very, very hard getting those guns on target. But the 20mm Browning Colts that actually come with this thing, 4 of them by the way, do an absolute God's work when you actually hit things. Like, I don't think I've had any sparks just yet. I had certain situations, I think like 1 or 2 where I only got to hit, but other than that, the second I actually hit a target, it is usually a crit or an instant kill. The guns also are sitting at a pretty decent position. They are right here at the air intake, so still somewhat at the lower part of the plane, but in a very nice position to actually hit things with. And what I actually have to do, what I like to do on head-ons with this thing, is I like to actually turn the plane upside down, then take a few shots and go downwards. That usually, very often actually gives me the edge, and head-ons I very nicely usually take out enemy pilots without suffering any damage or much damage at all. So nice little trick right there for you guys to try out if you are willing to give this thing a try. Other than that, also very nice loadout. As you can see, you even get, in addition to all this speed, AIM-9Bs, which, I mean, honestly, I really don't enjoy these missiles, but you do get missiles, and it's 9.0, so it is pretty good. They do only pull 10 Gs, and you literally only have like a tiny circle in front of them where they actually properly lock on, so it's nothing like no MiG-21 Mirage level of missile, but it can still occasionally do the job, and many people just really don't expect a missile being flung at them at this battle rating, so still a very nice and very strong thing to have. Other than that, you do have a few other possible loadouts which we can check out right here. So you do have the Mighty Mouses, which you can use to kind of try and do some ground attacking in this thing. You also have got 2,000 pounders or 500 pounders as an option. You can obviously also combine the lots right here in all these configurations if you really want to. But overall, out here you can quickly have a look at how much I spaded this airplane so far. I did a good bunch of work on it, but it is certainly not final. I will try to usually get you guys an impression with like as much spading as possible of these vehicles, but as it is still very new for me and I'm very much not part of the War Thunder content creator program right now, I just don't have all these things unlocked just yet. That said, I've got the most important ones, I would say. I've got the AIM-9Bs just to showcase those to you guys. I've got the compressor, I've got the engine, so it is doing pretty decent for max speed, and once we get into those videos, I will also make sure that that G-suit is unlocked so that my pilot is not quite as atrocious and will perform somewhat nicely. That said, you can see I've got the Blue Angel skin on here. That actually was part of the special event as well. You only unlock that if you actually got the 11th star on this. The usual look that this plane will come in is somewhat more like this one, which I will actually show you guys now what it looks like prepared. But the reason that I actually left the plane unrepaired today was because I wanted to show you one very, very bad and annoying part of this plane. For all it is, and for how overpowered I think it is for this battle rating, I'm like, just a quick thing in advance, I do think that it will probably in the long term need an adjustment, because this is definitely not 9.0. There is some compression issues I think at the higher battle ratings right now with planes in War Thunder, where this thing would obviously not be able to compete with like a MiG-21 or something, but it is very much performing at the level of like F100Ds or not quite the level of a Lightning, but you know, it would be doing, well, way more, but it would be way more fair, rather, at that sort of level than, you know, throwing at yeah, at the occasional Saber or, well, you know, Hunters do perform a bit better, but it is very much compressed in between these two battle ratings, and it just doesn't quite work out the way that it currently is, I don't think. But that said, the one major point that I actually found out about this thing is, holy fuck, is that a repair cost? 29,500 silver lines is absolutely mad just thinking about it. Like, you gotta see, this thing is not even fully spaded, so there is more repair cost potential to this thing. And just to put things into perspective here, right? Other 9.0 jets, like the F86F2, this thing is perfectly 100% spaded, are like 16, 17k. You get like the B-57, which is bombers. You know, bombers usually have a higher repair cost. It's 20k. You get like the B-29. Okay, that's 64k. That's a bit mad. But if you look up at higher tier jets, you get this F4E Phantom with a base repair cost of 8.6k, or you get stuff like my MiG-21, which is totally spaded and has a max repair cost of 12k. Like, 30k not fully spaded as a repair cost, I think, is absolutely mad. I feel that personally this thing is draining so much money out of my account just working on spading it. It's absolutely mad. That said, let's get this thing repaired so I can actually get you guys a quick proper view at this actually pretty beautiful plane, I have to say. It doesn't really look as fat as it feels when you're flying it through the air. I think it does look a lot more sleek than the whole performance that you actually get out of it in the very end with like turning, but well, kind of definitely trust me on this one, it is turning like an absolute brick. That said, I am going to go back to the Blue Angels camouflage here just to have shown that to you guys in this form as well. So yeah, that is somewhat like a general impression of like what this thing looks like, how it performs, like how I see it in the current battle rating. But with that said, I would like to throw you all into some proper footage, which I will be getting just now. And well, then you guys can just get an impression for yourself, and then we'll have a quick little summary at the end. Alright everybody, and welcome to the first game with the F11F-1 out here on Korea today. And as you can already see, this is the battle rating we're playing at. F86s, G91R3s, and well, the Lightning. I mean, you know, the Lightning is probably a worthy contender for this airplane, but honestly, the Lightning is probably not a plane that should really be going up against these kind of planes either, and that is a great start to the game right there, isn't it? So, as you can see, after burning away I'm pretty much faster than anything except like the lightning. You can see obviously that my jet is very nicely spaded for engine and oh, is it called? Was it called? I'm pretty sure it's not propeller. Compressor, yeah, exactly, right. So for engine and compressor, and then I am actually outspeeding these guys, which this guy doesn't even seem to have any missiles on the wings yet, and I'm still outspeeding him, so certainly very worthwhile upgrades right there. But overall, I am usually starting out with this plane with 20 minutes of fuel, which is enough for most games. So it doesn't really suck up as much fuel as like MiG-21, where I usually go with 30 minutes of fuel. 20 are sometimes just not enough, and then you end up without any fuel. You get messed up in like the last minute of the game where you could have had the guy, but your engine turned off, so something I don't want to run into in the MiG-21, but with this thing, 20 minutes of fuel is pretty fine overall. I do usually just speed the plane up to like about 850 kilometers an hour, and then just go into a 20-degree climb, and this thing climbs like no tomorrow. I'm pretty sure I'm at like 65 meters a second even at the moment that this thing climbs out, which is absolute madness for this battle rating, because except for like the lightning, as I said, you know, a MiG-15 does climb, I'm pretty sure, like 40 meters a second was what a MiG-15 is able to climb. Maybe that even got nerfed. That may actually be an old stat. So certainly out climbing a MiG-15 by a lot, and that is and has been for a while the master of climbing at this battle rating until lightning got introduced. So certainly very strong contender in that regard. That said, always kind of go up to like 4,500 meters, and then I more or less straighten her out and go and find my first target. Now what you will find that this thing is obviously very nice at is engaging the occasional bombers, be it jet bombers, be it Tu-4s, and I have to say, what's absolutely incredibly rewarding, and what makes me super happy personally, is just shooting this flippin' Tu-4s out of the skies. Who does not hate Tu-4s instantly sniping you while you're going at like 60 degrees of an angle at them at like 900 kilometers an hour, and it's like, boop, and the gunner has you. I always kind of flip when that happens to me, and it always happens. But this thing, I mean, you've got missiles at this battle rating, so that has certainly become way less of an issue right here. So I'm going to try and get myself behind this MiG-15, but he's very aware of us, and I'm not going to be able to turn with that, so I'm just going straight. And I think this is one of the key things that you just have to abide by and live with as good as possible in this plane. Tried the little head on there, didn't really quite work out as intended. But yeah, don't ever lose all that precious speed. It's pretty much the thing that keeps you from dying. Like, the only real advantage that you have in this plane is your speed, and if you bleed at all by trying to turn with stuff like MiG-17s, MiG-15s, F-86s, you're going to be in a whole lot of trouble. Now, I'm not saying you can't get yourself out of it, because this thing does have some somewhat decent acceleration for this battle rating with the afterburner, but still, if possible, you do kind of want to try and avoid that. Alright, and back we are. And as you can see, I'm currently climbing, but I do already see a jet bomber out there that I would very much like to actually go for if we can make that happen. So I'm just going to climb here and loop myself in right behind him. And that way we can maybe get a cheeky missile going. Lobbing that at him. Fingers crossed that that will work. I'm going to straighten myself out a bit more, because as you can see, these things literally just lock the 2 micrometers in front of them. There's like no flexibility in the lock, and if they even go like slightly off target, they are going to miss. And well, you can see right there, they are absolutely like, this is no MiG-21 level of missile. You will have to accept that, unless the person goes absolutely straight and doesn't notice what is happening. You will most of the time not hit anything. and as you can see right there, that's just what's happening. I'm just going to keep lobbing these missiles out though anyways if he's going to keep going straight, because honestly, why not just give it a try? And then he just decides to crash. Okay, well, that is fine. I'm going to get myself into the battle instead, and I'm going to try and reserve that last missile for somebody who's either totally oblivious to my presence or an F11F-1, because these things, as I said, turn like absolute bricks, so I think the chance is probably the highest if you do happen to find one of these. So far, this game just only seems to have crashes in store for us, so not too interesting of a start. We've got a Vortour up here. Let's just try and do a cheeky head-on with that guy. Not die to it, though. Did get a hit on that. Nothing else, though. Kind of sad about that one. That's one of the few hits that I've actually managed to get with these cannons so far. It does seem there's somebody behind me. Yeah, Shenyang of 5. I mean, I'm going 1160, 1170. Like, he's not going to be catching up with me anytime soon. I think he's not even trying to catch up with me. Alright, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go and gain some altitude, retain that energy, try and help out that F-86 unless he decides to turn in below me and totally disable me from doing so. So, yeah, I'm going to abolish that plan then. And I'm going to be going straight for a bit more, because now I've got people below me that would be able... Actually, are there... Oh, God. This is not looking too great, is it? I am going to go up and now hammer down on these guys as they are all grading after that F-86, F5. Maybe that will open an opportunity up for me. That said, he just decided to crash, so not much of an opportunity to be had there for me. I'm going to evade that F-86, A5. Not going to get the head-on done in time with him there anyway, so no reason to go for that. There's a few planes right here. Maybe they don't see me because I've got the sun behind me. Possible. So let's keep going straight for the time being. This dude seems to be somewhat oblivious. Let's try and lob a missile at him, see if he notices. The sonic boom may have given me away. No, there we go. Nice and easy missile kill right there. F-86A5 is not going to be catching up with me at all. Not going to be worried about that too much right here. And I'm just going to keep going straight and witness another crash. What is happening this game? Everybody's just crashing. Nothing else really going on. G91 is going to turn off, which is going to help my MX-17 body. I'm happy with that. I'm just going to keep going straight, because that F-86 is still right there. So, you know, probably want to be watching out a bit with that thing. G91 right there seems to be going super slow, though. So I'm, yeah, very nicely creating some separation right there. And just zooming away. Just, you know, zooming to safety. Issue now being that half my team is apparently actually heading to the airfield, and, well, actually all my team. Everybody's heading to the airfield, and that F-86 just seems to be, already seeing the, not the dollar signs, but the Silver Lion signs and the RP signs in his eyes right there as he is, heading in right there, and that said, he just absolutely gets nuked in a head-on. Alright, okay. G91, very, very far behind. Did I actually get a kill assist? I did unfortunately not get a kill assist for that Vortour that we hit earlier, so... Only one kill so far, really. Kinda unfortunate. Not much more than a missile kill so far. G91 still seems to be going straight after me, which is kinda surprising, I have to say, especially given that there's an F11 on his ass right there, but, you know, if he decides to come up for me, that's gonna be his death, so... Yeah. Smart move to not do that, mate. Smart move to not do that. So, very good choice right there. I'm going to take a few shots at him, but I'm not going to be able to get that gun on target. And as I said, see, this is like one of the biggest issues I'm having right here is that this thing is just turning like a brick. Now, a little trick that you can actually try is kind of playing with the flaps a bit. You can see that in the bottom left corner right here. You can get the flaps out to landing all the time. You just need to watch out to not rip them off. Now, the G91 is going to go in for and run at the airfield, so... Oh boy, that will be a bit of a bloodbath, I fear. I am catching up, but I won't make it there in time. Oh, he's only going for the anti-air. Alright, nope, there goes... What? Crit. Ah, I got him, but he got the body. I'm sorry, mate. I didn't make it there quite in time, unfortunately. That is very, very sad and unfortunate for our teammate. Now, there is 2 people up. Both of them are apparently fighters, not bombers. I would like to take the chance here to land and reload, because there's nobody in sight right now. And I can't see any black dots on the horizon, so I would like to take the chance. As you can see, I'm down on 3 minutes and 40 of fuel. Whoopsie, that was unintended. As you can see, though, down to 3 minutes and 40 seconds of fuel, so I need to get some more fuel into the tanks of this thing, and there's an F1. Ah, of course. Just when I have bled all my speed. So, very, very annoying. Didn't hit that. And he's doing the same trick that I was doing. Very, very interesting indeed. Now, what do I do here? I mean, I've got a bit of ammo left, so I am not going to land for the time being. F86 is asking where they're at. I can't mark him anymore. So I'm just going to be chasing him off. Is my buddy going to be landing? No, it does seem he's going to keep going too. So, yeah, that's going to be a head-on. I'm going to do the same trick you're doing, my dude. Crits. Very nice. Okay, he did actually end up sparking on me, so kind of lucky me right there, but there goes another kill for me. Was still a somewhat decent head-on. I thought he was using my trick, but apparently he just scooted out from that upside-down maneuver last second. I really have to say, me, myself, I find it very, very useful. So far, it's really gotten me some great head-ons. Like, I haven't really died all that much in head-ons. It does seem that was the last one, which is kind of confusing because this dude seems to be up, but apparently maybe he's lost a wing or something and just not crashed yet. So okay, very nice. That was a somewhat decent game, I would say, actually. 3 kills right there. Kind of a slow start, but overall I think a somewhat decent showcase of what this thing actually can do. You see, I was outrunning the whole team there. For pretty much the whole, well, not the whole team, but I was outrunning like everybody that tried chasing me down for the whole match. Getting the guns on target, as you all could very much see right there, was a bit of an issue, honestly. It's like, I think you get the point, right? It turns like a brick. Sometimes it just kind of drops over the rudder when you turn it too far to the left or to the right. It just has this little drop in the gun and you can't quite get it on target because the rudder is speed locked or something a bit. So it is kind of a bit susceptible to that, but overall, yeah, a very, very fun and nice airplane. In my opinion, honestly, too strong for the battle rating that it is at. I think it does deserve an increase. The issue being that, as I said, I feel that the battle ratings up here are very, very, very compressed. So you probably would need some decompression right there to actually make sure that everything fits in nicely. But I do think a bit of a battle rating increase is justified and will probably happen over the long term, as does so many times in War Thunder with other new vehicles that are super, super interesting, super powerful at the start, and then over time War Thunder just nerfs them to the ground a bit to kind of, well, try and get the balance. Sometimes they get over nerfed and everything. I think if you play War Thunder for a bit longer, you probably know that whole mechanic already. But other than that, definitely very fun plane. If you have managed to get it through Operation Summer, I hope you're very much enjoying it, except for that stellar repair cost. So just don't try dying in these things. Try and keep that thing straight and don't turn with those MiG-17s and F-86s, and you will probably have a pretty good time. So that's it then. That's it for my very first video on War Thunder, my very first video on the F11F-1. I do hope that you all very much enjoyed it, and if you did, definitely make sure to hit that like button down below. And if you're new around here and like my War Thunder content and would like to stay around for more of that stuff and also some of the other things I do on this channel, definitely also make sure to hit that subscribe button down below, as well as the bell icon right next to it to stay up to date on all the future episodes. That said, it's actually not going to be time for War Thunder videos in 2 weeks, but it soon will be on a 2-weekly basis. For the time being, though, in 4 weeks is going to be my next War Thunder video. I'm probably going to be doing it on the C2A1 then. Maybe going to do an intermittent video sometime. I'm not quite sure, but for the time being, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you'll stay around for more, and I I hope I'll see you in the next one very, very soon. Ciao.